I'm really hyped about it today. So, are you guys ready? Remember what we do, right? Keyboard away. Notepad up, guys. Then we're gonna, how the process goes is I will go through the replay at 4 times speed so you guys see how a pro coach would look at the game. I will make notes and then we're gonna go through situations and we will see what Camille could have done better. Okay. Guys, pen is down. You guys ready? Let's get into it. Let's go. So, first thing, let's look at the matchup, right? Or what Camille wants to do in the game. And then we're gonna go into the mistakes. So, first thing is, in terms of the matchup, this matchup early on is actually Shen favored. And the reason for it is because what Shen can do is Camille basically trades with her passive. And when she does that, what Shen can do is just W, right? And negate her passive trade. He also has the stun, right? And he has the shield. So he has more time shield that Camille does. And basically in the early laning phase, she can control her really well. But then when Camille gets 1 to 2 items, Shen just gets dived over. Like when Camille gets 2 items, Trinity and Hydra, Shen gets dived over and over and over and over again. Like Shen just doesn't do anything anymore, you know? So he has a little bit pressure early, but then we hard outscale him later on. Now, what we want to do in mid and late game though, is if we look at the enemy team, Shen is not a problem for us, we said. We're pretty good into Shen mid and late. Graves is annoying, but not a problem because Camille is kind of weak against CC. So we're pretty good against Graves. Just not in team fights because, you know, if we get stunned. Versus TF, easy. We just ulti the stun card. You know, he can't peel us. Can't. Lucian, now this guy is annoying because he has the tools to kite us. So basically, he has the E, he has the dodge, he has the, you know, like, he can kite us around it. It's annoying. It's not as annoying as a Kai'Sa or Xayah or something like that, but really annoying. Better like a Jinx, you know, what else is there? Misfortune or something like that, we can very easily just go on. But Lucian, you know, if he gets fed, he can destroy us as well. So we need to be careful. And then Leona is actually good against us because Camille doesn't really want the enemies to have a lot of CC, right? So that's why Leona is actually good into us here as well. So we see that split push wise, there's nothing that we should be scared about because we outscale everybody on the team, enemy team. And team fight wise, they have Leona stuns and Shen stun and TF stun. So Camille, because she doesn't want to itemize versus Shen and Graves Mercury threats, she needs to go tenacity in runes. Okay? And then build Tabis. Actually, I kind of give you an answer to one of the pauses I did, but yeah, exactly. Okay, what did Camille do wrong here? She is not AFK, that's true. She pulled the wave, that's good, yeah. But what she messed up is she pulled the ring wrong, guys. Okay? Exactly. So, basically, when you pull waves, let's look at this. So when you pull waves, right, you have 2 options. One is you pull it here, and the wave is gonna slow push into you. 2, you pull it here, and the wave will push against you, right? So it's gonna go into the enemy tower. So what you would like to do in this matchup, because Lee Sin started red, and Graves is gonna start red as well, right, is you actually wanna push. And the reason for it is because when we push, we can stack up and we can get an extra item advantage. Okay? Because Lee Sin is going to give us cover. And you might be thinking, well, why don't you set up a kill on Shen? Right? Why don't, if Lee Sin's pathing top, why are we not setting up a kill? And the reason for it is because if Shen is good, right, he protects the wave early on. And because of his W, we can at most force a flash out of him. We can't really kill him if he plays bad, right? So the reason why I know Graves will start topside is because Graves usually starts always red because it helps him with his clear. It helps his dueling potential if he meets Lee Sin. So overall, Graves should start topside here, okay? That's why. And because Shen is late on lane, Camille can do the pull, right? And she wants to push into, go into a slow push, zone him level 2, zone him level 3. Lee Sin clears here, gives her pressure, clears towards bot side, right? And then Camille just bases, gets either a call or an extra Doran item, and then comes back. So, let's look at this situation that's gonna happen right now. I mean, not right now. After this. This one's gonna be easy. Okay. What did Camille do wrong here? You're alright. Alright. You see, this is not silver. This is not gold. This is diamond 4, right? And people still disrespect level 2 a lot of times. Okay? And now, because Lee Sin path topside, right? Because she took such a bad trade, it's actually very difficult now for Lee Sin to come top and set up a gank with Camille. And this is what I talked about. If Shen plays the lane well and uses the minion advantage, then it's going to be very hard to do that. So now we're in a disadvantaged position and Shen can actually push into us in end base and get an extra item. So let's look at this one. So we see here that we have a push going, right? And what we want to do is we want to crash and get an item lead. We see that our teammates are fighting in the river, right? So if we look at the situation, we see that they won, okay? So what happens here is if Camille wants to follow this fight, okay? What she should do is just go this way and cut them off. Now, because your teammates are winning, Camille actually, the only thing she needs to do is zone out the Shen from the fight. So that means she should have stand here in the lane and then positioned herself like here so Shen can't walk and help the team like this. Shen would have to go around, which would in turn mean that he would be too late to the fight. Silver back, thanks for the follow. It would be too late to join the fight, which means Shen would lose time, right? And then we would be able to get the push, get the back off, get the item advantage, and then come back. Fast forward to this. Okay. So, what will Camille do wrong here? She should have based. She should have definitely based. Now, she might be thinking, I have 900 gold. I can't buy anything, right? But if she doesn't base now, what's gonna happen? What will happen to the wave now is Shen is gonna slow push into us. Now, because he's full HP and he's Shen, like we said early on, he has the advantage over us. What will happen is he's gonna stack up the wave, crash it into this tower, and you know what's gonna happen? He's gonna base, he's gonna save TP, he's gonna come top with items, and what we will do is like have to push this out, and we have very bad clearing tools before we get Tiamat, which means it will take us a long time, which means the wave will be around here when Shen arrives, which will in turn mean, well, now that we are with the wave is here, so what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Well, Shen is gonna freeze, and then we're gonna be like, oh, maybe we get ganked by Graves. That means we would have to base and TP back on the lane with the extra items, because we can't stay without items, or we will have to spam ping assist on top lane for Lee Sin to help us push out. You see how from a perfect base timing, we go into a very, very bad situation. Good. Let's go to the next one. So this TP play, right? You probably think about, okay, why is coach thinking about this TP? And I said it on stream. I said it before. You guys are probably gonna flame me for it, okay? But let's look at the situation slowly, and I will try to explain you my thinking process, okay? So, if we look at the situation right now, right? Shen ults in, Lee Sin is level 4, Vel'Koz flashes out, right? Here, I'm like, there is no way in hell when Camille comes they win this. You see the situation, guys? I'm like, even if we come, we have no items, Shen is gonna come with Tormil, there's no way we win this, okay? But then, what happens is, you see how TF steps back and stops fighting, right? And then, look at our Shen. Just misses everything. If he hit E, if he went and actually flashed E'd, here, the no flash Vel'Koz, the Lee Sin with no flash. How does he know they have no flash? Because before, guys, if you remember, they fought in this area. And Vel'Koz and Lee won it, right? So, if Shen didn't troll here, this is a double kill and we die with them. What happens after? Look at this wave. This wave is horrible. It's gonna slow push, and not only should we die here, right? We should also get a freeze here from Shen, and we should lose 2 waves on top lane, okay? Which means 320 gold plus experience. So this TP should never have worked out if things go proper. Never ever, okay? Especially because we haven't based yet. Actually, this one's not gonna be a situation. I'll just talk about this, right? So we see here the items that Camille went, right? She went into Tiamat, into Shin, into, you know, she's gonna go Trinity. That is normally fine, okay? That is normally fine for Camille. But how Camille itemizes, she wants Shin to have kill pressure. She wants Phage if she wants to just survive. And basically Tiamat into Vampiric Scepter into Hydra. So what we want to do is we actually want, because they're double AD as a Camille, we want to go Hydra, and if we get an advantage we can build Shin, but we want to go Tiamat into Hydra into Tabis, okay? Tabis is gonna be super valuable here against these two, which will deny a lot of auto attack damage from Shen, and it will deny a lot of auto attack damage from Graves. And if you think about it in mid and late game, are we gonna actually join a lot of fights against TF, Lucian, Leona? The answer is no, right? So that's why itemizing MRs is so bad into Mercs, right? And rushing Shin at this point, we're not gonna be able to kill Shen, right? With Tabis or Bramble West. That's why having the sustain and staying longer and longer with Shen, because right now Shen wins trades against us hard. So let's look at this. What happens is that Shen was bought, right? And what we're doing in this case is we're greeding for the tower, okay? The reason why this is bad is because Shen is gonna get tempo. So when we get this tower, right? What will happen is that Shen is gonna come top, and he's gonna have a wave, and he's gonna be able to push the tower back, and he's gonna be able to take our tower back, right? So when situations like this happen, always take proxy the wave, then go back and play tempo. Here we should have based, not exactly here, a little bit back. Okay, so here insta take the wave, base, and then go bot lane. Why is this also important? Because first of all, Drake is gone. And second of all, the enemy bot lane just took the tower. So which means they're gonna swap around. And usually the bot lane come from from bot towards top lane, right? So when they go from bot towards top, we don't wanna be with Camille on top lane. If enemy bot did the proper rotation, right? And we would here, instead of seeing Shen, right? If instead of seeing Shen here, what happens is if the enemy bot lane actually come top, not only do they push this, take the tower, take the whole jungle side of Lee Sin, and take the Herald, right? It's Jhin and Yuumi are now on bot lane without a tower, so it's very simple to get collapsed upon, okay? So not only does he lose tempo, he also gives Shen the ability, or the enemy bot lane, to take complete topside control, and he puts Jhin and Yuumi into a bad position laning phase wise. So first of all, what she did is she wasted time by going to, you know, around, which is pointless. Second of all is, look, she has a bunch of gold, right? A bunch of gold. And what she wants to do is she wants to reset and spend the gold, have TP ready in case a fight breaks out around Drake and we want to follow it. If we don't recall right now and a fight breaks out on Drake and we follow and TP, we're going to be useless. We're going to be completely useless with these items. It's the exact same situation where we TP it here without items, right? So base timings are super duper important. Okay, we push out, we base, and then we TP. Why do you think TP was a waste? Let me explain the situation. As a Camille, okay, what we would like to do in the game, we would like to push sides, pressure, force people to us because we are very mobile, and then go back after that, right? So the TP was too early, right? She should have went. And if the team just takes the Drake without enemy contesting, awesome. We just take it, right? That is the main thing. Take small advantages, okay? So as a bruiser in general, guys, you want to join fights that are beneficial, fights that already started. As a tank, You want to be at the fights at the beginning because you have the ability to force a fight, right? Okay, so that is the difference between Bruiser and the tank. And there's certain champions like Fiora, which is an exception. Fiora completely doesn't want to group before she gets at least two items and an off tank item, so 3 items. Because when you see Fiora, it's super easy to just damage her and kite her, right? While with Camille, she has more tools, but it's still the same. It's much easier to deal with a Camille that you see than Camille that you don't see. So, if we look at the playback, we're gonna talk about here understanding the map, okay? Understanding pressure and basically understanding how to watch the map and play around it. So we see here that the enemy team is collapsing on mid lane, right? And what happens is, well, they kill Vel'Koz. Then they all start walking towards bot. So, can we, with the items we have, kill this Shen? He's tanky, man. He's like... He's a strong guy. Okay? Singe Design, thanks for the follow. So, what you would like to do here is watch the minimap, see how people are moving, and then just walk away. And you're gonna tell me, well, but coach, do we just let Jhin die? Yes. Unfortunately, yes. I know Jhin is gonna come into our chat and say, why do you let me die? I know I'm coming to help you, but sometimes, guys, sometimes we just have to let it go. We just have to let it go. Okay? So don't try to help everybody. Try to really, you know, yeah, we have to sometimes let it go. Exactly. Okay, so what's really important here is we walk here, pick up the Yuumi, right? Help her out because we can, and then get out. Just get out, guys. Okay? Just get out. Let's look at this one when we come from base, okay? Okay, so we all agree this was a pure int, right? But the question is not, was it a pure int or not, you know? Or was it a big mistake? The question is, what was the Camille's thinking process here? And what didn't she take into account when going for this, right? Because we want to understand what it goes through her head so we can see, okay, what should have been done in the meantime. So, when going for fights like this, guys, what we need to take into consideration is, what do we need to win this fight? First, possibly when we're so far behind, we want more numbers. Do we have more numbers? No, because Jhin is dead, right? Second thing we need to take into consideration. So one is numbers, right? Second one is, what are the cooldowns? What are the summoner spells, right? And for summoner spells, we didn't really track enemies, so we don't know what's up, right? We need to think like Camille in this situation. She probably didn't track summoner spells and would know what is up and what is not up, right? So the next thing is cooldowns, right? We see here, Vel'Koz ult is down, Lee Sin ult is down, Yuumi ult is down, right? Can we, when we're so far behind, go into a situation where we're disadvantaged in terms of numbers and at the same time have no cooldowns to win the fight? And the answer is no, right? And this is the main thing, guys. When you go and when you try to create this place to come back into the game, which is not wrong, push your limits, try to come back, right? But think, how does Camille do that the best way? And how Camille would do that the best way is she would go bot, push lane, you know, force people to her, and then she could escape. Yes, she's playing against TF and Shen, which is insane amount of pressure on the side lane, right? But we still have to do what Camille does best, because otherwise, if we go into fights like this, it's really not good, okay? So take cooldowns if you're an engage champion, especially on tanks on top, guys. Or let's say you're a support engage, jungle engage, whatever. Think, do we have the cooldowns, the summoner spells? Do we have a number advantage? And if yes, are your team ready to follow up? And if all things are yes, then we hammer it down, guys. Then we go, okay? And this is why, if we look at supports, right? It's so hard to play engage supports, but it's so easy to play peel supports, right? Because peel supports just react, while engage supports, you know, have to really create really good opportunities and take all of this into consideration. Good. So, let's look at this one. Our team just got 2 kills. Very, very good. Very good team. Let's see what we do. This is gonna be mistake after mistake after mistake. So, let's judge the first thing. Should she have TP'd immediately? I'm baiting you guys in. I'm baiting you guys in. You guys all messed up that said no. Okay? And let me explain why. Now, the reason why she should TP immediately, okay, and not go for the bot lane wave. Why? Why is it so important? Because they are 8k behind. They really need this Nash to stall the game out. Okay? And the reason for it, why she should TP immediately, is to provide as much damage as possible. And when they burst Baron down, she can base and the wave is going to be around here. Okay? She has enough time before the wave hits that the enemies are going to lose resources and they're going to kill the Baron with the team. And then she's going to be able to pick up the wave with the Baron recall, right? If she doesn't TP immediately, what happens is that the team loses a lot of damage on the Baron, and they might be getting contested by Shen, Leona, and Lucian, and they might get, poked, which means we would not get the Baron. But if we are with the team, 5v3, there should never be a world where the enemies should stop us Baron, except if they would have a very fed member on a very fed champion, which doesn't happen, right? Lucian is not that strong, Shen is not that strong, Leona is not that strong, right? And this is why TPing was actually the good choice here, okay? Now the problem we do is afterwards, right? Afterwards, we're taking Nash, and what do? Is we go over the wall to try to make a play. And this is where it happens, guys. We were in such a good position to finish this Baron, right? To then recall with Baron, pick up the waves, and get back into the game, right? And basically, what we do now is we bait our team into a fight by going over the wall, and because we die, right? What happens is now our team is like, so now it's 4v3. Can we actually finish the Nash? And then with a very good Shen taunt, our team just gets completely screwed. Okay? This could never happen. This could never happen if Camille wouldn't go over the wall. So a really smart play by her for TP, for tempo. Okay? And you see here normally the Nash would be already gone. And then Camille would pick up this wave. And we would lose nothing. Okay. So here, guys, just to close it out, Camille wasted an insane amount of time. Insane amount of time. What she did, she was bot, shared experience in gold, ran mid, shared experience in gold with Vel'Koz, and during all this time, she didn't check jungle camps to at least get something. And here, what she should do is, if Jhin goes bot now on paper, Jhin should be top lane and not bot lane, right? Camille should be bot because she can deal with super minions easier. And then Camille should go top, push out, create pressure, while the enemy have Nash. And how we defend against Nash, guys, is we always, this is what we do in pro play. Listen in. So when enemies get Nash, the first moment when we know the Nash is not contested, every single lane just pushes the wave as hard as possible. Why? Because if we push the wave very hard, then the enemy team has to go to those lanes and then push them back. That is the first reason. The second reason, when they go push these waves, they split up, right? They go, let's say, 1, 3, 1. When they split up, they are much easier to catch than it is if waves are pushing in and then just go 5-man mid lane with Baron buff, right? So that's why we push waves to stall the Nash, to wait, let them waste time, wait for the waves to come, and then split them up just so we can potentially get the picks.